I think teaching therapy is rather like being an amazing chef. If you're very generous, you go, look, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And if you do this in this order, you can create something almost as good as I create, if not identical. After all, if you look at Jamie Oliver or any great chef, they say, do this. I mean, therapy is more complex than cooking, of course, but it is a formula. It's a recipe. And so RTT is very precise in that you start off being a detective and you are gathering information. I never say to my client, how do you feel? I say, what happened to you? What happened to you? No one is born unable to leave cookies. No one is born unable to be the focus of attention. No one is born terrified of cats or bees or dogs. Babies only have two fears, the fear of loud noises and the fear of being dropped. And so therefore, my first question as a great therapist is, what happened? Where did this come from? What's really going on? And after I've extracted that information, which isn't difficult, I become more like a dentist extracting all these toxic beliefs. And finally, I become like a coder, coding in and upgrading someone's thinking. And so all of my people I've trained, including you, lovely Eric, understand, okay, I'm going to put on my detective hat and work out what's gone on. When we tell those lies to ourselves, I'm boring, I'm stupid, I'm a disappointment. And since our greatest pain is caused by the lies we tell ourselves, it's easy to tell ourselves a better lie. I'm exhausted, I'm dehydrated, I've got a terrible memory, my memory is amazing. If I look at a cake, I get fat. I have a powerful metabolic rate. I'm not educated enough to do something. Some of the most successful people in the world never went to college. You know, if you're prepared to tell yourself a lie, I'm the size of a house, I've got a memory like a sieve, my job is killing me, my commute is killing me. If you are prepared to tell yourself a lie, because nobody can eat a horse after all, then you might as well tell yourself a better lie. You know why? Because it will probably change your entire life. And we have so much power to control our thoughts, because everything starts with a thought. People say, you know, a feeling comes first, an act. No, thoughts dictate your feelings, your actions, your events, your behaviors. Even a belief is nothing more than a thought you think a lot. And if you want to change your life, and you can, start with your thinking. This is a genie, your mind is a genie, and your wish is its command. And when as a child you say, I don't want to go to school, I'm being bullied, I wish I could stay home and never leave the house, and suddenly you get hypersensitivity to light or terrible migraines or a mobility issue, and now you can't go to school, your mind goes, there you go, I listened to your wish, your request, your desire, and I made it real. And when people say, you know, it would kill me if another guy left me, I would die if I got fired in public and screamed at again, that would be the end of the world. The mind says, my job is to protect you. I'm going to give you a lovely ulcer now, so you can't go to that place called work and get fired. I'm going to give you chronic migraine, so you can't go on a date and get dumped. And people find that hard to understand, and yet 70% of clients turning up in ER have real physical problems, but they're not caused by a diseased organ. They're caused by diseased thinking. And the minute we can go back and track the thoughts, we can change everything. And that's why it's so incredible. I credit everything I have that's good in my life to hypnosis, even my marriage, because I had to believe I was lovable to find someone that also believes I'm lovable, and so we could grow our amazing relationship together. But you see, if hypnosis was powerful, which it is, but if it could manipulate your mind, every hypnotist would be a millionaire. They'd have all their clients leaving them their houses in their will. They'd have people coming back every week and spending more. They'd have people, I mean, clients send me all the time flowers, little hampers. No one sent me a Porsche. I've never had a client send me a Ferrari. I couldn't say to one of my clients who's a billionaire, by the way, I love the Joe Malone cancer, but actually, you know, I'd really like a Lamborghini now. I couldn't possibly say that, because they would hear it and think, well, I'm not sending you a Lamborghini. So if you think hypnosis can manipulate you, take a look at anyone you know who's a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist. Some of them are very successful, some of them aren't. But we can't manipulate people like that. You know, I have arguments with my daughter, I have arguments with my husband. I haven't got my husband going, whatever you say. My daughter gets very cross with me at times. I can't even manipulate the people I'm married to and raising, because it's not like that. So the instant change is wonderful. But many of us change what I call cumulative. Bit by bit, we suddenly notice, oh, you know what? I only ate 1 spoon of ice cream. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm noticing I'm leaving food on my plate, and I'm leaving a bit more food, and I'm saying no to fries. So I'm noticing these cumulative effects. Bit by bit, I'm seeing, yeah, I'm sleeping better. When did I last have a migraine? I can't remember. Gosh, it's really working. Well, the migraines are a lot less severe. And then there's the third change where it's called retroactive. I look back and think, when did I last scream at my kids? I don't remember. And someone says, gosh, you're so different. Yeah, haven't you noticed? No. Oh, yeah, I'm looking back now. So there's instant change, bit by bit change, and retroactive change. There's something called lag time. It's a bit like, you wouldn't go say, I went to the gym, I did the plank for 10 minutes. Where's my six-pack? You have to go back and do the plank. And then all of a sudden you go, wow, looking back, the difference my shape is, I never noticed that. I can see it's working. And so I think if you're not an instant changer, but your friend is like, I went to see that Marisa, oh, I went to see Eric, and they looked at me and said, and it changed me. And they go, that didn't work for me. We changed differently. You know, some people have 10 driving lessons, 1 test, and off they go. And others say, I've had 50 driving lessons and 3 tests, and I still haven't passed. But once you do pass, you're equal to everyone. So, you know, I think people believe you're going to wave a clock and go abracadabra, and they believe that you're going to put them to sleep, and then they'll wake up different. But hypnosis is not going to sleep. It is the sleep of the nervous system. But hypnosis is about waking up to your incredible potential and being amazing. And so it's just a question of, how do you change? And can you change in 1 session? If you're coming in for something like nail biting, or passing your driving test, or being good at exams, it's very likely you can do all of that in 1 session. If you're coming in with anxiety that you've had for 30 years, or an eating problem that you've had for 30 years, you may need to have 3 sessions. I had a girl who was so depressed because she wanted to be a vet so badly, and she applied to vet school twice, and they said, don't apply again. You don't have what it takes. And she said, you know, that's the end of my dream. And I said, but there's another dream. And for her, the dream in the end was to become a dog whisperer. And she's so good at it. And she probably makes more money than someone sticking their hand up a cow in a field in the middle of the night. You know, she's got the best of it. I worked with somebody who wanted to be a doctor, and she said, I'm not smart enough. I didn't have any money to go to medical school, but I wanted to be a doctor. And actually for her, what she realized is she wanted to help people. And she actually started to volunteer in a hospice. And then she trained in aromatherapy, and she trained in Reiki, and she was in a hospice doing what she always wanted, helping people. So we're so caught up with it. I need this, and it's not available. I can't have what I want. And now I'm depressed because all those doors are shut. But sometimes they're not shut. Maybe you missed out on having a baby, and I can't even imagine how painful that is. But there's still a way to have a child in your life. Be a mentor, fund children in an orphanage, see what you can do, be an extra grandmother or auntie. You know, so many of the children I love in my life are not mine. I mean, I love my daughter, but there's always a way of finding connection, finding significance, following your heart's desire, and shutting down the harsh, hurtful, critical words, which is why I created, you know, installing the cheerleader. We all have an ability to have a critic or a cheerleader. In fact, there's 4 downloads in here, and one of them is installing your own cheerleader that only knows how to cheer you and believe in you. If we all did that, our life would be so much better. People ask me lots of questions. Why did you create it? You know, who are you? People say, who are you to write this? I go, well, who am I not? You know, 35 years in, I think I can have an opinion. But people do say, who are you? And why did you write it? Because I wanted everyone to know that you have immense power to change your own life like that. And I wanted to share that power, because we believe that change is so hard. Actually, it can be so easy. It isn't always easy, but it can be easy to change.
Yeah.
You know, one of my clients, I always remember, she said, I went into an abattoir, and I came out, I could never eat meat again. I don't know what happened, but somehow walking into the abattoir changed me. So all the time, you know, I ate some prawns, I was violently sick, I can't eat them again. I don't know what happened. So we don't know why we change. Well, we do. We change, and we the way we feel is down to the pictures we make in our head and the words we say. The girl who went into an abattoir, the girl who ate the shrimp and was sick. It changed the picture forever. And that's what RTT does. It changes the picture. It changes the words. It changes your life. And it can be really fast and immensely profound.